Hey everyone, I'll make this quick because I know we all got to get back upstairs. No worries. I mean, one of the good things about communications, especially in this format, is that we can get back to it later. And that's a big thing about podcasts. Some of you might know the Cathedral had a podcast pre-pandemic. It was ran from about 2018, 2019. I did that with Kara Peterson, plus me. But it was really difficult for the two of us to manage, especially as life got in the way. There's a lot of stuff that has to happen on the back end of it as well. So the podcast went on a very unofficial hiatus. But enough things have changed that I really want to bring it back. There's a lot of interest in it. But a key factor is to do it differently than we did before, to make it a little bit more sustainable, where it's not just two people running it, and to get more community involvement and engagement, where it's not just two people from a similar demographic, but the shareholders, to use that term, the ministry planning team, are a lot more diverse in terms of how old they are, what their life experiences are, how long they've been at the cathedral. So we are working very hard, and I think fairly successfully, on getting more representation from different parts of the cathedral in the planning of it, so that the episodes and the different channels within the podcast are more reflective of us as a community and tell our stories better. And that's a big thing of communications in general. That's a huge thing about the podcast. It is sharing the stories of the people at the cathedral. They can share their faith stories, their journals, struggles, victories. A big part of this is hearing the stories told by these people in their voices to create that sense of belonging and community and family. We also see the podcast as being an opportunity for faith formation and development. We could have episodes similar to what's discussed at Wednesday night forums here or at Sunday morning forums like this one. It's a wonderful way of examining and explaining the parts of what make our community our community. And also a consideration that there are people who cannot be at these kinds of forums, who may not be able to watch online for whatever reason. This provides, we could have a forum on what the significance of antiphons. We could have a forum on why Advent is a thing that we do as intentionally as we do. There are so many topics of discussion that sometimes we take for granted, that I would love to sit down with a clergy person or a staff person and say, let's talk about this a little bit more. Let's open this up for our benefit as well, and for the benefit of somebody coming to St. Mark's for the first time who wants to know why we do things the way that we do things. Very cogent to this conversation is spotlighting ministries. We have a lot of ministries at the cathedral, as Alexander and Greg have said, and that's a good thing, but I really want us to imagine hearing interviews or updates from the people involved in those ministries about the role their work plays in the church and its impact beyond the church as well. Podcasts are a great way of getting the word out and inviting listeners into the different ways that we do ministry here. Something, I'll finish with this, I'm really excited about is creating podcasts really for group discussions, roundtable discussions. All of us bring different perspectives to this place that are unique, but that we still share with others. And I'd love to gather people around a table and just let them talk about an issue that is very relevant to them. We could have a roundtable about raising kids in the church. We could have a roundtable about what it means to be a Christian in secular Seattle. We could have different roundtables talking about all these different topics that bring us to this place from different places and in different ways. And if we do that right, if we do all of this right, we can create a ministry that brings all of us closer together. It gives people a platform to tell their stories in their own voices, and it ensures, well, not ensures, but it helps that everyone feels included in the church. Granted, that's something we can do in every ministry, as we should. I really think we have a way to do that with podcasting as well.